if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about a huge misconception in the sport of running, and that is that running is cheap. But before we get into that, you know what actually is super cheap? The like and subscribe button. And in fact, there's also a huge misconception about those buttons too, and that is that they are useless and worthless. And that could not be further from the truth. In fact, they actually help the channel out tremendously as I continue to learn and grow here on YouTube. So thanks again, and as a reward, here's a picture of a baby pig wearing running shoes. Now, let's get back to the video. Running seems like the simplest, most budget-friendly sport on the planet. All you need is a pair of shoes and the ability to run. The ability to run is a free gift from God that I do realize is a privilege that many don't have. But if you do have that gift to be able to run, then all you need is a pair of shoes. After that, it's one of the simplest, easiest, cheapest sports in the world. You don't need a court, you don't need a mountain, you don't need ski passes, all you need is shoes. Very minimal equipment, and that's it. You can run pretty much anywhere, whether you're in the city, out in the country, on vacation, there's always a place to run. It's one of the easiest, simplest, cheapest sports there is. But here's the twist, here's the misconception. That is only where it starts. Pretty soon, you'll realize, wait a second, my runs show up on Strava without heart rate data. I would like to track that. Oh, wait a minute. I want to be able to program more complicated workouts on my watch that I don't have, or on my phone. Oh wait, I do enjoy listening to music or a podcast, and I don't have any headphones, or the phone doesn't work, or maybe I should sign up for a race, etc., etc. The point is, running is a slippery slope. All of a sudden, one pair of shoes does not cut it. You need one pair of shoes for easy runs, one pair of shoes for hard workouts, one pair of shoes for race day, one pair of shoes for this, one pair of shoes for that. Soon, you might have a whole wall filled with shoes. Then you might decide you need a GPS watch to be able to track your runs, your heart rate data, to track your progress. You might need a hat, running tights, sunglasses, and that doesn't even get to racing fees, which are not ever cheap, by the way. And so all of a sudden, this cheap sport, you might be $800 or $1,000 deep, and you're like, what happened to this being cheap? So if you're a beginner, or you're just getting back into the sport, you don't need fancy gear. All you need is a pair of running shoes and the ability to go run. And just go out and run with joy. If you don't have headphones, play music out loud, or run in silence. It's a really fun mental exercise. And it can be a time to just have a lot of creative thoughts. Or play music out loud. If you play music out loud, nobody will care because they all have headphones in. If you don't have a watch to track your runs, you can track them with your phone. Or if you're just getting started, don't even worry about tracking your run. Just go out and run with joy. That's it. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Just enjoy the sport, and believe me, the complications will come with time as you fall in love with the sport. But at the beginning, don't worry about it. Just go, enjoy, have fun. All right, now for the fun part, to to show you the gear that I use. So welcome to the basement, and this is the best place I could come to lay out all the gear I use. I use more than this, but these are the things that I think I use the most or I value the most. So let's talk about each one. First up, we have the tights. Yes, I wear tights. They are the full length tight I prefer, but I love them. Comfy. These in particular don't have them, but the ones I'm wearing have a tight pocket for your phone so it doesn't slosh around. You know, there can be an argument made for their compression, but I just think they're comfortable and they totally eliminate any fears of chafing whatsoever. So I really like them. These that I'm actually wearing right now are fleece lined, so when it gets colder in the winter, those are super, super great to have. So next is the quintessential running watch. Now, I could be wrong in this, but I think there's really mainly 4 camps when it comes to a watch. You have your Apple Watch, Android watch, whatever that might be, Galaxy, whatever. And then you have Garmin or Coros. Now, for me, I started with an Apple Watch and it was terrible. I hated it. It worked for a while, I will say that. I was very stubborn and I was like, no, all the runners say that never use the Apple Watch. And I was like, I'm gonna use it, it's great, I love it. I got to the point in my running journey that I wanted to schedule workouts, more complicated workouts, and there's actually no way to do that on your phone and then put them on your Apple Watch, which is silly. You can only do it through the watch. And then the worst part though is the battery life got so bad that if I had to run longer than 8 miles, it was gonna die. It didn't matter if it was at 100%, if I took it straight off the charger to go run, if it was longer than 8 miles, that watch was dead. And for marathon training, that is less than ideal. That is unacceptable. So I ended up Garmin and Coros. I think, I've never tried Coros, but from what I've seen and read, they basically do the same things, and it's kind of like, which camp do you end up in? But if you've tried both and you disagree, let me know down in the comments which one you think is better and why. But I ended up with the Garmin camp. You can program workouts, it's one of my favorite parts, and then the battery life. I charge it maybe once a week, and it is wonderful. Definitely one of the most important pieces of running gear I have. Next we have headphones. I have ended up with the I've ended up with the Shocks Open Run Pro 2s. Shocks are great. They fit right over your ears like this. They're great for many reasons. One, before Shocks, I was trying with AirPods and just running. They do all those ads with active people, but I just don't know if they were actually made for active people. Because if you get sweaty enough, they fall out. And I had one just totally, I don't know, blew a fuse or whatever you would call it. Probably because of sweat or running in rain or whatever. Maybe I just got them too wet, but these are great because they are connected, so they stay on my ears no matter how sweaty I get. And then the thing I really love is they are a bone induction, which means they don't go in your ear at all. So bonus, they're actually safer if you're running on roads and things. You can still hear everything. And then the Open Run 2s actually have a little speaker, so it makes it just a little louder, which is really nice if you're trying to listen to a podcast or a book or anything like that and you're running by cars, you can still hear everything. So I love these. They're great. All right, next is hydration. I guess. I really like this soft flask. I was using a Nathan flask. It wasn't super soft like this. And then Floberg showed that Nathan has soft flasks, but they're hard to get. And I found out that Hydro Pack has soft flasks, and I really like Hydro Pack because they have a lot of different attachments and nozzles and whatchamacallits, and a lot of different sizes. So we have like a big one of these, like 2 or 3 liters for camping, and it's like everything works with this little one or the big one. So I really like that, and this is just crucial for any long run. And then, speaking of attachments, they have this cool thing. So for trail running that I'm getting more into, this is actually a filter attachment. So the filter fits right in, and then I can just fill this up in a stream and just drink right out of it like normal. So I really like that, and again, this works on all of them. They have other attachments. So Hydro Pack soft flask, check it out. I really like it. They're not like a sponsor or anything. That would be silly. I'm not that cool, but check them out. They're really cool. Anyways, moving on. All right, the moment you have been waiting for, my shoes. What shoes do I wear? So first up, these are the Saucony Ride 17s. These are my daily trainers. So any recovery run, really any run that's an easier session, less than say 10 miles, I'm gonna be rocking these. They probably get the most mileage, and they're great. So then next we have the Saucony Kinvara Pros, however you say it, Kinvara Pros. I love these shoes. They have like a small carbon fiber plate, but they also have a lot of foam. They help with impact for sure, but they also have a lot of spring to them. And so I have ended up using these for quality session days on the track or tempo runs, anything like that, or any medium long or long runs. So basically I'll wear these for quality sessions or any run longer than say 10 miles. I will be rocking the Saucony Kinvara Pros. I love them. They're great. I would wear them probably for every run, but they are more expensive than the Saucony Ride 17s, so I don't wear them for every single run because I want them to last as long as possible. Now that I am training for the Spartan race, I have a pair of Saucony Peregrines. These are just a pretty solid trail shoe for doing my trail runs in the mountains, and the shoe that I will be racing in Cincinnati on the Spartan Beast. And I've really enjoyed them. They also come in a wide, and they fit incredibly, and they feel good. And I was doing trail runs in the Saucony Rides, and I can tell a huge difference in traction. I don't have a slight fear every time I hit a rock that I'm gonna slip and bust my head or anything like that. I have a lot of confidence in every step, and so they've done great. All right, and then last but certainly not least, I have the Saucony Endorphin Pros. These are my race day shoes. They are super lightweight, tons of foam, and a carbon fiber plate. These things pop, they roll, they don't lock, but they're great. So, is running cheap? Truth be told, it's as cheap as you want to make it. But odds are, if you get really passionate about this sport, the costs will add up. But is running a simple sport? Yes, absolutely it is. The main equipment you need is running shoes. You don't need rackets or tennis balls or basketballs You don't need a field, you don't need a court, you don't need a ski mountain and gear and lift passes. You don't need any of that. You can run pretty much anywhere in the world, wherever you are, even on the moon. You could run there if you are lucky enough to vacation to the moon. The problem is, we tend to overcomplicate simple things as humans. I don't know why, but we do. So with running, it used to be all you needed was one good pair of running shoes. And now I have 4 pairs of running shoes and a watch and headphones and all these things, which are good things. And I think that they add benefit to me as a runner. But they do complicate things and it can be overwhelming. And that's something I've been thinking about recently, is just kind of like getting back to the basics. And I think it's not just with running, but with every aspect of life, even with our relationship with God. You know, when you first become a Christian, all you need is the Bible. And the truth is, that's all you ever need. You only ever need the Bible. It is God's Word. But as you continue to mature in your relationship with Christ, we tend to read other books by theologians, we read Bible studies, devotions, hymnals, all of these things, which are all really good things. But if you're not careful, they can become overwhelming things. And sometimes the most refreshing thing is just to go back to just you and the Bible and just, that's it. And it can be the most refreshing, just reset. And so with running, you know, going back to the basics, just throw on some shoes, head out the door, run, no headphones, no music, nothing. Just run with joy, experience it. It can be really refreshing. So if you're not a runner, maybe me going over my essential gear list was a bit boring, but hopefully you can still appreciate the idea that as we pursue things with passion, we tend to overcomplicate them. And while those overcomplications aren't always bad, again, these are my essential gear lists, and I love every piece that I use, and it makes me a better runner. But eventually those overcomplications can become overwhelming, and they can distract us from why we really became passionate about whatever it is in the first place. And so maybe for you, I don't know what your passion is, but maybe the most refreshing thing you could do is to just go back to the basics, remember why you do whatever it is you do, what makes you love it, and just enjoy the simplicity of it. And that's why I always sign off with Run with Joy. That's a wrap.
Game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm